Well, welcome back to the last round of this amazing tournament, the Qatar 2014 Masters, and it's been another exhilarating round today with the winner, Yu from China, beating Kramnik in this very exciting last round. And we're now going to have a look at how Giri's getting on. Giri, of course, started this tournament with 5 straight wins, 6 straight wins, 6 straight wins.
It seems a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah. But he lost 2 in a row, and he's got a chance here to fight for second place. And
I kind of like his style. If he's, no draws.
No draws. Yeah, I mean, he's played very uncompromising chess, and he's been fighting so hard throughout the tournament. And to be fair, Vladimir, his opponent today, has played some amazing ideas. I mean, it's been a great game to commentate on. We both feel now that Giri's getting on top of things with some great defensive manoeuvring. And we're just going to jump into the position. We can see Vladimir Kopian there thinking about his next move. And it was the position we last looked at was after bishop d6. And, at the end of the day, exchange, a couple of pawns. Black's got a lot of pieces around his king. Let's go through, have another 10 moves here or so. So rook g1 was played, and now...
Yeah, we got up to the time control, actually. We've seen all these moves, so we can zip through.
Takes d5, bishop e7. So black is now, a whole rook up, but white's done this in order to try to create some threats against the black king. But, yeah, we weren't sure how Vladimir was going to continue here. Queen g6 played, and now the king runs away to the queen's side. And to be honest, white's only really attacking with the queen, maybe the bishop in some situations, but black's pieces very well centralised, all defending each other, so it's looking very tough for white now. Queen to a5 check, king goes back, white grabs his pawn, and now black starts to put his pieces around his king. Queen a4, and I believe queen b6 has now been played.
That's a nice move. So Giri is anticipating... it's lovely the way he's put all his pieces on black squares. If rook g8, I guess, even bishop d8 is possible, but I suppose rook d8 will do the job. Seems okay. But if we just go back, basically black's next move is probably going to be rook h to d4, just making sure that bishop won't be able to move. And actually the rook on g1 is actually on prise at the moment, but yeah, rook h d4 after that rook moves somewhere, so the bishop can never move, and it's looking like it's all over.
Well, we can see Giri is wandering around, and it looks so far. If we just have a quick update, and I can tell you who's going to come first and second. Third is not decided, but it's clear now we are going to have Yu in, he's won the tournament already on 7.5 out of 9, phenomenal score. And Kramnik and Giri are going to share second place because Afimenko has no chance of winning. So both Kramnik and Giri, they've had really good moments in the tournament. I'm assuming they are both going to win rating points as well. So they've had a good tournament. I think they'd both be a little bit disappointed at times with some of their games going on, but in general they've still had a good tournament. They've won rating points. So they've second equal. So it's
with Yu Yangyi coming first on his own and defeating both Giri and Kramnik, that is totally deserved. Yeah. Totally deserved.
Yeah, certainly.
So, we're thinking this one's going to end fairly soon. Giri must be winning. Let's look at the ladies. So, with the women, there is a women's prize of $5,000, and Khotanashvili had 5 points. She was out in the lead. So let's have a look at her game.
Was she black today, or?
She was black, yes. It was in this French, wasn't it?
Okay, so she's going to bring this game up now. So she's in the lead, and this is the current position.
Oh, she's...
and it is... Okay, it's white to move here. King g7 was played last. King g7 has been played, and this is the current position. Giving up the pawn on a7, and
draw.
You have to assume this is a draw, yeah.
Okay, it looks like a dead draw to me.
Dead draw, yeah. Yeah.
Of course, White can take on a7 and try to play on, but
Sure.
nothing too much happening
That's quite
there.
important, yeah, because it looks like Kotanashvili is
Well,
therefore going to.
She'll get the $5,000. The news is that Elena Danielian, who was on 4.5, a half point behind Kotanashvili, she lost. So that's, I mean, Kotanashvili is she's certain to get first. Whether it's on her own, if she draws this, she'll be clear.
We should also point out that the Arabic Championships, Salem has won that, which is $3,500 for the winner of
the best Arabic player in the tournament.
So,
well, where can we go to? Maybe we should start to wrap up results.
maybe,
Should we go down the top boards and see how we're getting on?
Yeah, sure.
So board one we know about. Anish Giri is. Let's just have a little look at the next couple of moves. Just 1 second. I can see after Queen B6, threatening the rook on G1. The rook has moved to E1, and now Rook G4. Obviously exploiting the back rank, because if Rook takes Bishop, then there's Rook G1, and anyway, Rook G1 is coming soon. Just trading off the rooks, and it's all over. This is completely resignable. You can see a Kopian there. I'm afraid he's just stewing in his own juice at the moment. Board 3, Vachier Lagrave, well, still punting away there. Let's have a look at that board.
I think H6 is kind of clever to try to put in a pawn in the dark square. I mean, that's a very typical idea that Black has played. I mean, I kind of think that Black should probably be holding this one. The bishop can threaten to come to D2 in some positions. It's going to be very hard. I mean, Maxime's body language to me, I mean, he's one of the more expressive people, I think, in this tournament. A lot of people don't give away too much emotion, but normally I think Maxime, he's going to try to win this one, but opposite colored bishop's known to be, very drawish, and I think if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on the draw.
Okay, well, let me try this one.
Yeah. And he's doing the pose. He's doing the pose now. Wow. This pose is. I think I just go G5 maybe. Or do I give up the pawn like this? I don't know.
Well, if you play G5, then
you get the passed H pawn.
Starts becoming.
That's a really bad move. Sorry. Yeah. So, can I? I don't know if I want to play a move like try to get my bishop around and give up the D pawn either.
Well, if you give up the D pawn, then I think I definitely had chances.
Yeah.
So
how do I wait?
I think you have to wait. Probably just let's say Bishop B2.
Okay.
Now. Okay, so I mean, one thing I'm sort of toying with, of course, is to give up my bishop on F7, but I can't quite see how to do it at the moment.
I think as soon as you go F5, can I take and go F6?
And you go F6, yeah.
This is my way to try to create a blockade here. So I take on F5, and if pawn takes, I try F6, and I kind of feel like this is just a blockade.
Okay, but here maybe. I play king takes.
King takes this, and then you try to get the passed H pawn.
Exactly.
Actually, it's worth pointing out again, in opposite colored bishop endings, if you want to try to win, pass Rook's pawn, very strong thing to have. Now, if I get my bishop back in the game, no bishop C1, I want to always stop you getting a passed H pawn.
So anyway,
I take,
takes,
and then I go G4, maybe, but
no, I think this is a draw.
So I can go maybe F6 even. I don't know. It's still a bit of work to do here, isn't it? So
no, I think it's a draw actually.
Actually, king to G7 as well. Okay,
that's right. I think it's clear.
King comes. To
G7 there's no rush. I mean,
right.
I don't see how White makes progress actually.
Yeah, sure. So that looks like a draw to me. Yeah, okay, but it's Maxime will play this one on. He has gone H4, but we're predicting a draw. So,
yeah. The only other thing is, okay, you can play H5 in this position.
Okay,
and
so
then takes, and that means we can bring the king to F5. But I'm not.
Tap by flies.
But I'm not sure that.
Okay.
It's making that much difference.
Here.
Oh
yeah. Okay.
Here.
Now bishop d2, yeah?
Of course, you can play f6 in that position, actually. I mean, I was trying to get my way through to g6, but actually I don't think it makes any difference.
Very hard to win.
Because in this position here, then, well, I think black just waits, and you can always just protect this.
It's very easy.
Okay, it's a draw. I think it's a draw.
I think so. And if we go now down, we're just going through the boards at the moment. We're kind of having our rounds up. So this is now
Ding Liren against
against
Adivan.
very talented player, both very talented players. China versus India here, and it was looking kind of interesting earlier.
Still hasn't quite settled, has it? No. Crazy game.
White's got the better of this though with the extra piece, clearly. But there is a checkmate threat actually. It's very surprising. You know, the threat here is
b6.
B6.
That's really sweet.
Maybe you can take on b5.
So b6 covers these squares, and then rook b1. How funny.
Yeah. I think if white gets organised here, white should be winning. I mean, just maybe rook takes e5, for example. Let's say I go rook takes e5, and if b6 I take on b5 with the king. It looks like quite a good option. You know, why not take a pawn, and the black king at some point will come under serious fire.
It must be winning.
I think it must be winning for Ding. Yeah, so Ding's going to join that group on 6.5, which will be the third. In my opinion, that's the third place. Oh no, fourth place, because we're going to have, basically, it looks like the results so far. It's going to be first place you, then joint second Kramnik and Geary, and then all these guys kind of fighting for fourth place on this score group here.
So let's just move to board 5. In fact, we have a result in Shankland against
a long time ago, actually.
Elyanov. Yeah, we're only just catching up with this. Yeah. So Sam Shankland with the white pieces. It was a Berlin endgame, and well, okay, we won't. Simon, I know you'd love to go through the whole game, but I think we'll just leave it there.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I mean,
sure, white could play that one on, but.
Yeah, I can think of a lot of things I'd rather do.
Okay, moving on to board 6, we have Safali against Tomaszewski. That was also a draw. I'm not even going to touch that. Then we have Bu against Salem. That was also a draw. And we have Kryvorochko against Durabeli. Let's have a look at our old friend Yuri Kryvorochko. Still grinding away. Kryvorochko with the white pieces. Can he do it? That's an interesting position. So White's king is in a pretty bad position there, actually.
Done well, hasn't it? You know, yeah.
Bad position for the king, and if black can play the king across and start rolling with the d pawn, I think it's odds on a draw.
Yeah. All rook and pawn endings are a draw. They're all draws. Yeah.
But maybe even white has to be a little bit careful. For example, in this position, if, well, h5, I don't know, probably king h3 is more sensible. King across, rook back, pawn up. We need a bit of counterplay. D pawn comes down. Who's better and why?
Black is close to winning because the black king's nearer to the b pawn. You know. Probably both rooks will have to be exchanged for both passed pawns, but the king is nearer to the queenside pawns.
So Kryvorochko has a bit of work to do here, I think.
Yeah.
I think it should be a draw, but...
I mean, it must be a draw somehow, but...
Okay, we'll leave them to work
I'm just going to say, yeah, it's a draw. Okay,
Perunovic and Moisenko on board 9, that was a draw. Khotanashvili is still playing. It looks rather tedious.
I mean, we can... Maybe quickly look at board 10 or 11. That's Oleksenko with the black pieces, and these are the only other people who can catch up to fourth place. So let's see if we can find that one. Oleksenko's been lurking around the top boards for most of the tournament. So let me just see. I think okay, there we go. Oleksenko. So again, these guys fighting for a share of fourth place, which will be a very nice payday if one of them wins. It's another draw, isn't it? Clearly, rook and pawn.
Another rook and pawn.
Yeah, draw. So.
Okay, white is trying to prove something there, but that is very, very hard work.
Very tough to win this one.
Okay, but white's better. So, okay, if I take here,
Yeah, some nibbling.
So if rook takes, then I take the
swing,
file.
You swing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
this is not simple actually.
This is actually not so drawn.
And if pawn takes,
Here comes,
then obviously,
here comes kingy.
yeah, kingy looks good. I mean, that looks.
One of your relations running up the board.
Yeah, exactly.
The king. Yeah, so
rook takes, rook c3. This is not simple, is it?
it's not so easy actually. Oleksienko's got some hard defending to do.
Yeah.
And the only other game, I don't know if they're still playing, who can catch up on fourth place is Volker Keating versus Ivan from Serbia. Ivan Isavic. We can maybe see if we can find this. So then I think we're basically coming to the end.
I think let's just go straight back to board 2. I think we should finish there because this is obviously the crucial one for the standings.
Yeah.
We don't think that there's really going to be any doubts here.
Yeah.
We think, well, Giri is a rook up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't think there's anything against playing on if you're completely lost, and I'm sure Kopian is. I mean, he is a rook down, but he kind of is losing in the last round is one of the most painful things in the history of chess. I mean, we say in chess, don't we, Danny? This is this good, saying that basically sometimes a painful loss, how does that relate to a brilliant win? Is the pain you get from painful loss, is that more painful than a brilliant win? I mean, obviously a brilliant win is a different feeling to a painful loss, but I've lost games in the last round that really sort of devastated me before. I remember losing to Danny Gormali.
Well, that would be really devastating.
It was devastating. It was for the EU Championships. So if I'd won it, I'd become first equal with Nigel Short. So that was pretty horrible, and I just felt absolutely disgusted for a number of days.
But we've all been there. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's very tough.
Yeah. Okay.
King A2 play. Oh, sorry, we've got one more move. We got Bishop F. It's gone Bishop F8. That's a very calm move, and then King A2.
Right. Well, I mean, I honestly don't think there's much to talk about here because, a rook is a rook, and
can we just attack C2? I don't know if I play rook.
I mean, White's even tied down here.
Rook C8.
So I mean, this has got to be. He's moving for the queen somewhere. I mean, some queen move as well. I mean, I'd be absolutely amazed if this game lasts more than 20 minutes. This game's not so interesting to me. I mean, okay, this is interesting. Maxime, this is dived into. This is a very interesting winning attempt. So let's go to, I believe, the board 3 game, and we were saying, this is a draw, but Maxime, master at endgames, has come up with an idea you mentioned as well, Danny, and you thought, right, you kind of.
Well, I couldn't quite get it in, but it's very interesting to see how he's played it, because if we just go back, I was trying to get this in, and I was thinking here, maybe Bishop F7 and F5, but here we were looking at F6, and that's just a dead draw.
Sure.
But after G takes H5, he's taken on F7 here.
Amazing move, yeah.
Incredible. In fact, of course, Black does not have to take the bishop. He could also take here. We need to look at both moves. But first of all, let's be greedy and take the big piece.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming you just take on H5, because otherwise this pawn becomes too dangerous. And I think the problem Black has, Black might still be able to draw this somehow, but this bishop to me can't stay here, can it? It has to. Then you have to give up the D pawn. So this is actually a very interesting winning attempt.
Okay, well, let's see how much White has here. So we play here.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just seen an evil idea, actually. Well, maybe
an evil idea.
An evil idea. Let's try this instead. Of course, I'd like to look at the F pawn as well, but once this one moves forward, then okay, bishop should be fine here. Okay, that's not great. All right, forget that one.
Maybe we should just go F5
just F5. Now, I was looking at E6 and King G6, but anyway, I don't think it's working. So this one.
I think we probably, we want to get our king to D7 maybe.
So here.
We can even nearly go E6 because we win D pawn, but then I think you get a blockade on the dark squares.
We'll start with this one.
So, let's say you pass. Yeah.
Pass, and now f6.
King f7, I'm assuming. Yep, you've got to stop e6. And now the king comes to d7.
Okay, now I'm free to move the bishop.
Yeah, now you can go bishop a3 check. I think this is a problem. And I don't see how white makes progress unless... Why don't you...
No, it's not working, because here we can just wait.
Yeah.
And there's nothing doing.
Yeah, this one's not working. Cool.
So just wait a second. We don't...
I can't see any way forwards except for f6 here. But after king f7, maybe we can do something very clever there somehow. But I'm not sure.
I don't see it. How do the players look?
I don't see this either. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Maxime, the legendary endgame player, but how does he break through here? It's just, okay, he looks quite confident, but...
I'm intrigued by... I mean, we can't see a win there, but I'm also intrigued by h takes g4.
See, I think if you go here, I just go bishop h5 and I blockade these pawns, and then my pawns come, maybe?
So
I can even go king f3 and take this one first, I think, and then I come back to e4. And this one looks...
Okay, that's very good.
This looks easy, doesn't it, for white?
Okay.
So I think you have to take this bishop. And,
we're assuming this one.
Yeah, anything else, black takes on g4. So this looks forced. And now king e...
Well,
bishop
pass.
c3. Bishop c3, yeah. Okay. Is there some plan with king f5, e6, king g6?
That's what I was mentioning before, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here...
Now we try... Well, king g6 shouldn't work, should it? I don't think king g6 should
I don't
work.
think so, because...
You take on e6. And, well, if you take the pawn on h5, we'll just go king f5 at the worst, so you have to push the f pawn. And...
Well, I think white can lose this very easily.
Yeah. This is not the way to continue. So we're trying to work out the idea of Maxime. I mean, okay, he's in no danger of losing, but is this a winning attempt? Bishop takes f7, and he spent a long time with this. But in this position, I don't know what his plan is. Okay, what has he played? Let's see the current position. We will get updated with the moves very soon. I think
that's the position on the board.
And it's black hasn't played a move yet.
No.
I think it's just a way to draw, you know?
I think so.
I think it's another way to draw. I don't think it's a breakthrough. 2 pawns generally is not going to be enough. Because the problem you have, just if you think about it logically, to advance these 2 pawns, the f pawn and the e pawn, to get them further than the 6th rank, you have to get your king involved. And as soon as the king comes involved on d7, well, then black's bishop doesn't have to defend d4. It can switch to this diagonal, and it can always blockade the pawns with the king. So I think, just thinking about it logically, unless we've missed something very clever, I think this is still a draw. I don't see how it cannot be a draw at this position. I mean...
it's just one last punt, isn't it?
It's one last punch, yeah. I mean, it's maybe the trickiest way to be played, you know. The trickiest for black to draw. But I think Afamenko's got his draw. I mean, this is what he played for with black, and obviously not a bad result. Well, Giri, I think after his last move...
Let's go to board 2.
Yeah, I think after the last move, Giri's basically...
This could be resignation.
I think it could be resignation, so yeah. Okay, so I think it's a draw, that one. But this one, Giri, I think, trying to catch up with 2nd place. And
so it's gone queen a6.
And a nice move here.
And now rook g5. And that's why we think it's all over.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, the problem is, where does white put the king? You know, that's all over there. Was that the game?
No,
Which game was that?
That was Ding against Adiban.
And that's Ding versus Adiban. Is that in a draw? Well, we got that a bit wrong. I mean, that's a great draw for Adiban. I mean, very enterprising sacrifice, and his position was looking quite good. I mean, I misassessed that. I thought white was doing well, but okay, it ended in a draw. So I think but that was certainly not a boring draw like some of the other games. That was a very hard fought draw. So okay, well, there we go. And after Rook G5, this must be it's been the end for a while. This is like,
So, okay.
what do you say, flogging a dead horse, which is not a very nice expression, is it? So, but flogging
Poor
a
horse.
dead
He's
horse.
played King B2. I think King B2 is the only move.
And now again, number of ways through here. I mean, Bishop D6 is one. Get the last piece in. I mean, there's so many possibilities here. I mean, Rook A5 is starting a mating attack as well. Rook A5 is. I mean, there's
All these moves
there's more
work. Yeah.
Every road leads to Rome here, not just the one. All roads, every single road. Actually, that was the saying anyway, wasn't it?
Geary he does play Rook A5.
He's looking a bit bored now, Geary, isn't he? He's looking at his opponent saying,
And once again, we got the vultures around the board.
vultures are there. And he's smiling as well. He's had a little smile there. Oh dear.
It is a pretty incredible performance from Geary. In Tashkent, he drew all of his games, or all of them bar one. And here, he's drawn no games.
Yeah.
7 wins, two losses. Well, assuming this is winning, and
his girlfriend there is looking, waiting for the paycheck.
that's Sopiko Guramashvili. They're in the pink, just turning her head away. She'll be happy.
So how much do these guys win, Danny? They're going to get shared.
25,000 is first, and then
shared. They'll be shared.
Kramnik and Geary will be sharing. I'm going to tell you
paycheck, I guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
They'll be sharing 15 and 10, 20. They'll basically get $12,500 each.
$12,500.
So it's
not bad.
better than a poke in the eye.
It certainly is. Better than a job at Sainsbury's as well.
Let me play a random move. Queen C6.
I used to work at Sainsbury's.
Did you?
Yeah. For 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Who's had enough? Them or you?
It was a combination, I feel. So.
Queen C6 allows, let's just show a few little moves, and then that one wins the queen. So let's put the queen somewhere else. I think he's going to resign, actually, but anyway, let's put the queen on E6 instead. It does protect the rook. That's the good news. The bad news
you got Queen D4.
Queen D4, I think will do the job.
Mating.
And in like Flynn.
Errol Flynn, if you're not sure who that is.
Yeah, so that'll do.
Was he famous for going in?
He was very famous for going in, was Errol.
In with a fight, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. Resignation is a very sound option here. I would never advise anyone to resign. It's up to them. They have to make the decision when it's right for them. But I would say Akopian is just kind of preparing himself mentally.
Yeah, sure. And it's really, so it's only on top 5 boards. We're just going to maybe stay a little bit longer with the board basic 2 and board 3, so we can work out who's won what. And this is, well, I'd quite like to see the handshake here. I mean, it's always interesting to see the body language of what happens at the end. What's the worst reaction you've ever got, Danny, when you've won a game of chess? Has anyone ever threatened your life? Has anyone ever...
no, I haven't actually, but
any
I
bad
think,
reactions?
the Korchnoi one was pretty good.
Knocking the pieces over. Off the board.
He stood up, knocked his chair over, and knocked the pieces over. That was good value. It made it even sweeter.
Yeah, definitely. Nice, lovely.
I can't think of actually anything worse than that. I've had...
No.
Actually, one of my favourite ones was, in fact, I thought my opponent was going to deck me, actually, because I swindled this guy.
Here you go.
We got a resignation, yeah. I was going to say, well, at least the Copian, he's taking it like a man.
Yeah.
But I swindled this guy.
Yeah.
And he was very emotional, very French, and he said, I was completely winning.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, well, not completely.
Yeah.
And I think I was lucky to get away with not being hit, actually, which was true. It wasn't completely winning, but the truth sometimes hurts, but thankfully it didn't hurt me.
There was a famous story, actually, at Gibraltar, and I was commentating this game in Korchnoi, one of his last tournaments he's played, until he became a bit ill. He beat Cariano, and Cariano was 2,700 plus. And he said to Cariano, I think, after the game, it might not have been Gibraltar, but he said, as we know here,
in Amsterdam,
was it? You'll never play chess again. You'll never play chess. You're not good enough. You'll never be a professional. So he was right there, wasn't he?
Yeah, but Korchnoi is famous
hit the nail on the head there. So and Maxime has been a draw. So maybe we can just talk about the results here, and also I guess we can talk about how we found this tournament as well. I mean, it's been a great event.
Well, it's been really enjoyable because every round we've had just really exciting games. You know, in an open tournament, people have to go for it. So there have been very few short draws, and even when there have been short draws, then you know there's always somewhere else to turn. And I think the spirit has been between the players has been very good.
Great. Yeah.
Very good fighting chess, but a friendly atmosphere.
Certainly.
And
Yeah.
you know, at the top, they've really fought it out. I mean, Anish Giri's result says it all: 7 wins, 2 losses.
Yeah.
So it's and you know the results of the tournament in doubt right till the very end. If you're going to pick one game, which game would you pick as that stands out for you?
I mean, there's so many games. I mean, I can pick a move. I could pick Salem's move, Bishop A3.
That was good.
That was an amazing move, Bishop A3. That was a really, really, really nice move. So I like that. You know what? I mean, I really liked Kramnik's game when he defeated Salem yesterday. I mean, sorry for Salem for that, but for me, I didn't. You know, that was a game I didn't really understand because I thought that Salem was better, and Kramnik grinding out this lovely king walk. So that was a nice game for me. I think I learned a bit from that game. You know, not to overestimate this position that I thought was good for whites. What about yourself, Danny? Can you think of one game that you've really liked?
Well, Kramnik's defeat of Giri actually I thought was.
This is a very good game, yeah.
Just very smooth.
Very smooth. Yeah.
Very smooth indeed.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I think let's take a look at the results, the final scores of the top. There are still a few games going, but most of the top boards have finished. So we have Yu Yangyi defeating Kramnik, so he's left on 7.5. Kramnik on 7, and he's joined by Giri on 7 as he defeated Akopian. We've just seen the end of that game. So draws all the way down to board 7. So who is left on 6.5? Krivoruchko and Durabali fighting it out, maybe for a clear.
Oh, okay. Well, Black just won that one. So that rook and pawn ending. So he's excelled himself to a really nice prize.
So he gets 6.5, and I think that's
good payday.
Clear 4th on his own actually.
Well,
so
with Afomenko, I think as well.
With Yefimenko, he's also on 6.5. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
so they'll share joint 4th and 5th, which will mean.
You know what, Danny? We know this tournament has just been an amazing event, but next year, it's been confirmed it will be going on again. So I mean, let's just hope. I mean, the one thing we do know, they're trying to get half of the top, I believe, 20 players in the world to play next year. So out the top 20 rated players, I believe they're trying to get half of those players to play next year. So it's going to actually maybe even be stronger next year.
Yep.
Can you believe that?
So I think we're about ready to. I'm kind of looking forward to dinner, I can tell you, as we managed to skip lunch. But listen, I'd like to thank everyone who's been watching our coverage over the last. We've enjoyed the tournament, and do watch out for the tournament next year.
Yeah, certainly. Brilliant. Thanks. You should mention them. We have Peter Doggers and Leonard here, so to everyone.
Bye now.
Is social. Now you can play chess with your friends whenever you want, whether that's middle of the day or middle of the night. You can get instantly matched up with one of over 5 million other members from around the world. You play live games in real time, turn-based games at your convenience, or tournaments with anyone at any time. Chess.com is mobile. You can play online from your computer, or you can play on the go from your tablet or your smartphone. No matter where you go, whether you're at work, grabbing a bite to eat, or just enjoying some time at the park, your games are there with you, and keeping multiple chess games going has never been easier. Chess.com is for learning. Don't just play chess, get better. The best chess training resources have never been more accessible. Learn essential chess strategy quickly and easily with the extremely popular Tactics Trainer tool. Improve your game in ways you didn't know were possible with training videos by chess masters. And regardless of where you're at now, take your game to the next level with multiple simple-to-use training tools. Chess.com is for everyone. Over 250 million chess games have been played on Chess.com. And it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a grandmaster. Chess.com is the place to play and learn chess. So create your free account now, see what chess.com is for you.